The old fisherman felt the jar shudder in his hands. At first he thought it was the wind. Then the clay lid twitched. A thin black thread of smoke hissed out from the mouth of the jar, curling like a living thing. The sea went silent. No waves, no gulls. Even the sun seemed to dim, as if the world itself was holding its breath. The fisherman stumbled backward, heart pounding, as the smoke thickened, rising, swelling, screaming. And then a voice boomed across the shore, ancient and furious. "After 1,000 years, I am free." The smoke exploded into the sky, forming towering shoulders, burning eyes, and a face carved from rage and fire. The fisherman dropped to his knees, because he had just released a Jinn who had sworn to kill the very first human he saw. Long before the jar was opened, before the smoke rose, before fate tightened its grip, there lived a fisherman whose life had been worn thin by poverty. His name was Yusuf, and the sea was both his enemy and his only friend. Every morning before dawn, Yusuf rose from his small stone hut near the coast. His back ached, his hands were cracked and scarred, his clothes smelled of salt and old nets. But still, he carried his fishing net to the shore, whispering a quiet prayer that today might be different. His wife had died years earlier. His children were grown and scattered, chasing fortunes that never seemed to find them. Yusuf remained behind, bound to the waves, casting his net not out of hope, but habit. The law of the land allowed him only 4 casts a day, 4 chances, no more, no less. On this morning, the sea was strangely calm. No breeze, no birds. Yusuf cast his net once. He pulled it back, heavy. His heart leapt, but when the net broke the surface, it held nothing but mud, broken shells, and rotting seaweed. The second cast brought torn rags and a dead crab. The third cast snagged something solid, iron scraped against stone beneath the water. With effort and gritted teeth, Yusuf hauled up an ancient brass jar, green with age, sealed tight with lead stopper, etched in symbols he could not read. "This," he whispered, "must be worth something." By the 4th cast, he found nothing at all. And so, with the sun climbing higher, Yusuf sat on the sand, staring at the jar that would change his fate forever. The jar was heavy, warm to the touch. Yusuf turned it over, brushing sand from its surface. Strange markings circled the neck, curved letters, sharp angles, symbols older than memory. This must be magic or cursed. Curiosity won. With trembling fingers, he pried at the seal. The stopper snapped loose. That was when the smoke came. It poured out like ink spilled into the sky, expanding until it blocked the sun. The smoke twisted, screamed, and solidified into a colossal figure, half fire, half storm. A Jinn stood before him, taller than palm trees, eyes glowing like molten gold. The earth shook as the Jinn laughed. "I am Ifrit ibn Shahar, servant of ancient kings, breaker of cities, terror of deserts and seas." Yusuf's voice failed him. He could only press his forehead to the sand. The Jinn stretched his arms wide, breathing deeply. 1,000 years, Ifrit roared, 1,000 years trapped in darkness. Hope flickered in Yusuf's chest. 1,000 years, the Jinn continued, voice dropping to a growl, and I swore an oath. Yusuf looked up. What oath, Great One? Ifrit's eyes locked on him. That whoever freed me would die by my hand. The fisherman's blood turned to ice. Please, Yusuf begged. I am old, I am poor, I have harmed no one. The Jinn raised a blazing fist. For the first 100 years, Ifrit said, I promised riches to my rescuer. For the next 200, I promised power. For the next 400, I promised to grant any wish. He leaned closer, his shadow swallowing Yusuf whole. But when no one came, I promised only death. The wind howled, the sea churned. Yusuf's mind raced, fear clawed at his chest, but beneath it, something sharper emerged. Cleverness. Yusuf laughed. It slipped out before he could stop it. The Jinn froze. You laugh? The Jinn snarled. Yusuf forced himself to stand, knees shaking. Forgive me, he said calmly, but I do not believe you. The Jinn's eyes flared. You doubt my power? I doubt your story, Yusuf replied. A being as vast as you could never fit inside a jar so small. Silence fell. The Jinn's pride burned brighter than his rage. You think I lie? The Jinn thundered. Watch! The Jinn dissolved into smoke, shrinking, twisting, until it streamed back into the brass jar, filling it completely. The moment the last wisp vanished, Yusuf slammed the stopper back into place. The seal clicked shut. The jar went still. Yusuf collapsed onto the sand, gasping. From within the jar came screams, curses, thunderous rage. Let me out! Yusuf wiped sweat from his brow. Now you know, he said softly, how it feels to be powerless. The Jinn's fury slowly cooled into something else. Fear. Hours passed. The sun dipped low. At last, the Jinn spoke again, quietly. Fisherman, what do you want? Yusuf held the jar carefully, like a sleeping snake. I want your oath, Yusuf said. Swear by the ancient laws that if I free you again, you will not harm me, and you will reward me. Silence. Then, reluctantly, the Jinn agreed. Yusuf loosened the seal once more. The smoke returned, but this time Ifrit appeared smaller, calmer, humbled. He bowed. I swear, the Jinn said, to grant you fortune beyond your dreams. Ifrit led Yusuf beneath the sea to a hidden realm where enchanted fish shimmered like jewels, each worth more than gold. Yusuf returned to shore wealthy, respected, and at peace. But he never forgot the lesson carved into his soul that day. Power does not belong to the strongest, but to the wisest. The fisherman lived his remaining years in comfort, telling his story to those who would listen. And deep beneath the waves, the sea still whispers of a jar that once held a god and a man who outwitted him. If you were the fisherman, would you have trusted the Jinn's promise, or would you have left the jar sealed forever? If this story pulled you into its world, like, subscribe, and share this tale with someone who loves legendary stories. And tell me in the comments, which ancient tale should we bring to life next? The sea is full of stories, and this is only the beginning.